We love attention so much, if we don't have it, we're willing to do just about anything to get it.
Until you have dated every black man on this planet, you can't say that all black men aren't worth dating.
You just been out there focusing on you. You got your own house, your own apartment, your own car, your own this, your own that. You become selfish. Oh, well, I just have OCD. No, you're just neurotic.
That tickled me. 100 Women versus Accountability is hilarious.
You're disrespectful because you're above reproach. Like, nobody can hold you accountable. Nobody can tell you anything that you do wrong.
A lot of women don't know how to, because they so badly don't want to take accountability.
Yeah.
They don't even know how to apologize. Telling someone, sorry, you feel that way, it's not an apology.
Man, this
Oh my God.
I want you to put up how many times on one hand that a female has apologized to you.
Collectively, it's going to be 1.5.
I want to put if it's 1, 2, I don't know. Can you get like 4 in the thing? Whatever. Put it in the comments. Let's prove something.
But
Me
yeah,
never.
like, you know, the power of silence, the power of apology, the power of not assuming things and asking questions. You know, I can't repeat that enough. And I think another thing, and mind you, I've been told, see, this is when I'm older, because the old me definitely wasn't on some stuff like that. But I've been told before by a couple of guys, like, oh, you have such great conflict resolution. They're just like, oh, that actually, and then I've dealt with guys that have done some things to me that I was just like, that was so messed up.
Right.
But then, like, after having a conversation with them, then it's like, okay, so you weren't doing that to be malicious or whatever.
Right.
You just had bad judgment. You just had bad timing. You know, you just didn't whatever. That doesn't excuse the crime.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, there's always the option to resolve things in a way that's just mature and just emotionally controlled. And I think women can become very powerful. I feel like emotionally spiraling is essentially just giving away your power. You're giving that person the reins to your emotional state. And my mom always used to tell me this: if you're not in control of yourself, someone else is controlling you.
Yeah.
And we love attention so much, if we don't have it, we're willing to do just about anything to get it.
So why is it?
And that means acting out of character and doing the most. When we screenshot and we repost and, you know, you put them in the group chat, like all of this stuff is like, I've seen some videos with women, you know, they post it online because it's so cool. They'll be like, oh, this guy thought he could ask me out. Like, look how he dressed. Look, like, he don't even got a job, da-da-da. And they'll, like, drag, right? And it's like, you could have just said no.
And that could have been.
You could have just said no. But because we love attention so bad and we're willing to do just about anything for it, that would include being unnecessarily mean.
Yeah, but whose attention would I grab though?
No, but this is the part men don't understand. It doesn't matter. Attention is attention. Attention is attention. So whether it's good attention, whether it's bad attention,
In general.
as long as we are the center of it, it doesn't really matter. And I'm saying this for, obviously not for me, because my eyes have seen the glory of
Escort accountable, and she's a young lady thinking like this. You know it's a problem. I say it all the time. It's not all because you see black women like this. You see other black women that are saying, hey, look, we need to change things up. And she was going deep. What's this, Slow to Speaks podcast? Yeah, check her out. I'm gonna check her out again. Because she was going in. She got a good mouthpiece on her. But her energy was in the right place. Because all of them, they do things like that. Or they'll say, oh, it's all black men. Which I refrain from saying. Because as you see right now, it's not all black women. But they'll talk like it's all black men. When it's really the men that they're picking. Which a lot of times aren't the guys that are leaving the country right now, aren't the good guys, none of that.
Something else that I'd like to call attention to that's becoming common. I consider myself black, so I gave birth to a son. I'm going to consider him black. I'm not for all the recent online hatred towards black men. Are you seeing it? Okay, so for somebody like me, everybody has their own personal reasons, but it's becoming more common. Women are doing think pieces of all races as to why they're through with black men. And I want to stress something to y'all. Until you have dated every black man on this planet, you can't say that all black men aren't worth dating.
Yes.
Now, you base it off of the experiences you had. Somebody like me, I didn't know how to pick them. Okay, I was always taught that Americans, skin folk is kin folk. So I'm thinking that they're raised like us. I'm like, okay, they're gonna put people, the girlfriend first, family, all that, those ideals. And the ones I chose, they just wasn't good men. Okay, didn't have nothing to do with them being black. They just wasn't good men. I didn't know how to pick men outside of my culture, and that's okay. I don't hold every black man responsible for that just because I didn't know how to pick the ones I picked. Okay, I haven't dated all of them, so no, I can't come on here and say that. I was in a situation at one of those relationships where somebody that I loved was supposed to love me. This is a black American man, mind you. We was in a relationship for a long time. Towards the end of it, when he really just let me know, he said at the end, he didn't like Asians and he didn't like Latinas, but he was involved and loved Asian culture, right? What are you in there doing? Okay, anyway, wrapping it up. Stood until you stand face to face with a man that's supposed to love you. He looked me in my face and said, because I told him, in the heat of the argument, I said, you talking to me like you above me and I'm beneath you. And he said, because you are. Because of your DNA. Yes, I am above you and I am better than you. I've gone through something like that, and even still, I don't hold all black men accountable for what he said. Sometimes you have to just realize and take accountability. You didn't choose the right men and try to choose better. I haven't dated since because I've learned how to pick now and I won't settle. Saying all that to say, don't write off black men in general just because you didn't choose the right ones. Some good ones exist. You just got to look.
She said it, but most do. They can't help themselves too. They get on and talk about all black men this, all black men want to do this. A lot of times they're choosing the top choice, the guy that's smooth, the guy that has the nice car, the guy that knows what to say and when to say it. That's the thing. The man that knows what to say and when to say it is huge. Why is it? Because that guy knows how to push all your right buttons. He does. He knows how to push all your right buttons and get you to the point of where you give yourself all up and he takes you, milks you, and then gets everything he wants and gives nothing in return. Right? Like, for instance, like when you come out to the Philippines, right? In the West, talking equals performance. So Western society, it often trains men to use conversation as a stage. And you got to sell yourself and different things like that. And out here in the Philippines, it's the opposite. So I actually did a video on this. Unlearn talking too much and not listening. That's what you have to do when you come here. Because you may do that in the West and there's no need to do that because Filipinos, they listen and understand. And also women from other cultures as well. It's a lot different. They're not listening with tingling ears or to hear something special. Like you hear a lot of women say, you should have told me something good, right? Or you was better off lying to me. Ain't that something? So you saying I'm better off lying to you, okay, with me being a liar? Says a lot about you.
Why are black women the least married? One of the reasons is selfishness. They are taught from a young age all of the things that a man is not capable of doing before they even know what a man is. They are taught they'll cheat, they lie, all of these things. They're taught a list of bad behaviors from the experiences of the women who dealt with these men. And then when that woman is past 30 and don't got no man and don't got no prospects, then those same people who were encouraging her to be single and not waste her time and focus are the same ones like, you ain't never gonna have no kids. You ain't gonna get married. While you're growing into the woman that you're gonna be, it's best to be growing with a man. When you just been out there focusing on you got your own house, your own apartment, your own car, your own this, your own that, you become selfish. Oh, well, I just have OCD. No, you're just neurotic. You just got nagging syndrome because you've been so selfish and so moving at your own pace and only doing what you want to do that now to incorporate somebody else into that lifestyle, you can't do it.
Real talk.
Yep, that's the problem. And that's Reva TV, by the way. She's a YouTuber. Some of you guys may know her, but she's right though. You know, it's not. I see an African guy say it. He said, "It's not good for a woman to go out there and get a home on their own." And he was in Africa saying this because the same thing that happens here happens where you are in America, happens in Africa. It happens even in the Philippines, but not as bad in Africa and also in the Philippines. It happens everywhere. You gotta keep your ear to what she's saying and how she's acting. Keep your eyes open to make sure you got the right one, because you never know, no matter where you go. You heard it from me.
Something that I was thinking about the other day was actually that, you know, because of women being unable to be accountable for their own actions, a lot of women are actually missing the mark even when it comes to their health, right? All because of being unaccountable for their actions. You know, nobody can't tell you anything. Nobody can expose you for doing anything wrong. Nobody can tell you that, you know, you're saying things like snippy or that you're rude or that you're disrespectful because you're above reproach. Like nobody can hold you accountable. Nobody can tell you anything that you do wrong. But what I realize is that there's a lot of women who actually have a lot of trouble with hormone issues, right? Their cortisol levels are extremely high. They have either too much progesterone, too little, too high of estrogen, too little. And so they are literally acting out of their hormonal imbalances. So that's why they are disrespectful, sometimes extremely rude. They have like crazy mood swings, all because they actually have problems going on internally. But a lot of women are unable, or they leave these things unchecked because, again, you cannot hold me accountable. So if I have an attitude, I'm not even going to, take anything that you're saying into account and actually look deep into myself and figure out if there's anything that I need to fix within myself. Instead, I'm just going to combat you and be harboring not only my issues and my problems and my attitude, but I'm also going to be harboring this hormonal imbalance that I could have checked a long time ago if somebody could have checked me.
Couldn't agree more.
Ain't that something? They're all facing this. Like most of the ones, like let me say. Now, when you think of the average woman and the average man, right? A lot of times she's heavier than men. That's why that guys walk around with the scale when they say, "Oh, I'm gonna go over 6 feet." He says, "Step on the scale." Every time they're usually overweight. You may find 1 or 2 out of 100 that are in good shape. The hormonal imbalance is crazy, and you can tell when they're being interviewed. Like I say it all day, they're screaming usually. They're off sync, not thinking, just reacting. That's no good. When you got a lady that's just reacting, she's not in tune with herself. And exactly like I said just now, I said not just now, but I said it in the last video. I was talking about the woman that didn't want to be corrected. And you can see the problems. I'm looking at them like, go in the gym. Like you see men doing the work, you go do the work.
I'm really not liking how I'm seeing so many older women tell the younger, don't lose too much weight, babe. Oh, that's enough. That's enough. You done lost everything back there. Don't do that. Like, y'all know I work with kids, so I literally just had to reassure this beautiful young girl, baby, you doing an excellent job with losing this weight, right? Because all of the older women around her is constantly telling her that she look like skin and bones, right? And it's with her mental. Like I told her, and I'm gonna just go ahead and say it, make sure you stay on top of your hormones. Make sure you balance your hormones. That's important. Make sure you in tune with your mental health, baby, because that's important. That play a big role in it. And I told her, make sure you are disciplined when you eat. All right. Make sure you have a good relationship with I don't care what none of y'all say. Don't nobody want to be fat, all right? And you talking to somebody that's been on both ends of the spectrum. I've been very small, and as you see, I'm heavy again. And I don't like being heavy. It with you mentally. And I get it. We look at food as a celebration. That's where we go wrong at. We view food as just a big celebration to overindulge in, right? No discipline, but the truth is the food is what's killing us. That's why we walking around here high blood pressure, high cholesterol, pre-diabetic, a lot of the sleep apnea, a lot of this we got going on is self-inflicted. There's nothing cool and cute about being obese. That's the truth. And it's okay to fall off the wagon. Hell, I fell off the wagon. I keep falling off the wagon. But the point is to get up and to keep trying, all right, until you conquer this food addiction or being undisciplined like anything else in life, right? There's nothing wrong with taking self-accountability. There's nothing wrong with holding yourself accountable and saying, yes, I fell off. Oh, I'm getting too heavy. Or I'm battling something mentally. Or it's something going on within me, hormonal wise that I'm not addressing, And the crazy part is it's the overweight older women that's telling the younger girls this.
Always complaining. It's hot. I'm hungry.
That lose that damn weight, okay? Take care of yourself mentally, physically, spiritually, and all of the above. That's the only how you're going to reach your full potential. Those are facts.
Yeah, there's a lot of things out there, and I'll tell you, a lot of people can tap into it. Look at what happened recently with TikTok, right? Everybody's on there. They would rather be on TikTok nowadays. Some than YouTube. Actually, YouTube. Some than some other apps out there, Instagram. They use it all the time. People doing the latest dances, but we're not tuning places like Skinny Talk. And there's some ladies that are over on Skinny Talk doing the work. They're losing like 200. I saw this one girl, she lost 200 pounds in like 10 months. They were telling her things like, you don't need that extra cupcake. Actually, you don't need no cupcakes. When you feel like you want to eat in the middle of the night, skip that meal or skip your last meal. And girls was doing that and losing 50 pounds, just skipping dinner, and got used to it and wasn't hungry. Discipline. Exactly what she's explaining. More needed. I need more discipline. I want to start cutting up my dinners. I tell my wife about that. She thinks you need the food. I tell her, no, I don't need the food. No, I don't need that. Yes, we are going to go on a diet to eat less calories, but I want to drop meals altogether.
The man that said, forget 100 men versus a gorilla. Let's do 100 women versus accountability.
Woo!
That's gonna happen. No, not gonna happen.
That took me out of here, y'all. That took me to another stratosphere. Because what do you mean 100 women versus accountability? Ladies, I hate to say it. The girls don't like taking accountability. And, to unseasoned ears, accountability can sound like you're being blamed. But how I view it is accountability is just the ability to take into consideration the way that you contributed to the outcome. That's all you got to do. We didn't say you got to take all the blame. We just said take into consideration what you may have done that contributed to the outcome, to the experience. That tickled me. 100 women versus accountability is hilarious. And one thing about me, I'm going to chuckle. I'm going to chuckle. I'm going to cackle. If it's funny, I'm going to chuckle and cackle because that's just me. But that was funny.
That's what it is nowadays. And it's the truth. You've gotten to that. 100 women versus accountability. They can't face it. They can't. Excuses. Oh, you just hating on me. You just hate black women. You hate your own mother. You don't love your own sister. No, that's not what it is. I love my sister. I love my mother to death. It's that everyone, even me, needs to be held accountable for our actions, for what we do on a daily basis, for what we put in our bodies, but you got to be held accountable for it. So this is in the comments. It says, and us being mad at it would prove the damn point. So true. Dude, look what this guy said. Accountability wins in the first round like Mike Tyson. Your mindset is appreciated and will serve you well. Accountability, undefeated.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Miss, I'm just a girl. No accountability. Exactly. Accountability knocks them out every time. Accountability is undefeated. 100-0. When it comes to women, 100-0.
Anybody wonder why black men and women are not getting married anymore? And why more black men are not seeking mates in this selection of women today? I've noticed that they're choosing peace over headache. I mean, you see it in the relationships. A lot of times they form a good union and then careers come into play. And before you know it, within that union, both parties will start competing against each other. And a lot of times we get the blame for that, but no one talks about when the female chooses her career over the relationship.
It's not my fault.
And then before you know it, the career becomes a #1 priority and the union takes a back seat. And we forget that the drive for more came from the union. And there are roles that we must play. But in today's climate, those roles don't matter. It becomes more of what more can you do for me rather than what can we do for each other. So I don't know why more black men are not getting married or building unions with other black women, but I do notice that there is trouble in paradise, and the toxic behavior from a lot of black women today is not conducive to a peaceful lifestyle. But I don't advocate being alone either. Sometimes it's just better to choose the woman that wants you rather than the woman that you want. And this is kind of a sticky topic you can't even bring up in the black community because no one's going to take accountability. Black women is sure as hell not going to take accountability because it's always the men's fault. A lot of men will not take accountability even though sometimes it's their fault. So it's just never a conversation that we can really have honestly amongst each other. But they say understanding that there is a problem is the first step. So what's your thoughts on it?
I want to show you guys something really quickly. 1 second. Come on the journey with me. All right. So I'm going to take you to here. So I want to show you guys this. It says, and the river went out of Eden to water the garden, and from thence it was parted and became into 4 heads. The name of the first is Pison. That is which compasseth the whole land of Havilah, where there is gold. And the gold of that land is good. There is bdellium and the onyx stone. And the name of the second river is Gihon, the same as that compasseth the whole land of Ethiopia. Where is Ethiopia? Africa, right? So this is the Garden of Eden, right? So where is the first man created at? Africa. Where was the first woman created at? Africa. The evidence is here in the Bible. Read your Bible. And the name of the third river is Hiddekel, that is which goeth toward the east of Assyria. And the fourth river is Euphrates. This is the center of the earth. So now imagine this. Imagine Adam and Eve in the garden, right? Now, you notice how women say they would rather hear a lie from a man than the truth? And you notice how they like the guys that aren't good for them? Who put the first sin into the world? It was Eve, right? But what did she believe? What did she listen to? A lie. Now, imagine this. I want you to think with me. Do you think, I know for sure, I don't know for sure because it's not written, but I'm almost certain that he went up to Adam, right? Tried once, tried twice, didn't work. He knew, he studied them because he studies us. He knew to get to them, he had to go through Eve. So he went through Eve. It worked. Success. And what was Eve giving Adam to convince him? He was smashing. Right? So it was easy. She bit. She gave it to him. Now we're here. But it shows here the first man was where? In Africa. This is for those people that say, oh, they're selling it to us. It comes from a white man. False. The first man is from Africa.
You must ask yourself, what is in this for me? Is this man going to elevate me socially, financially? Man going to give me peace? If there's no, then stay alone. If anything happens to you, nobody cares.
The most important time of your life, because it's the time where God gets to reveal to you who you are. You become self-aware, you get identity, and Matthew tells us that we're supposed to love God, ourselves, and then out of that love relationship, accurately love others. But most of us are trying to figure out how, before we learn how to love ourselves, so we're always looking to them to make complete these because we never learned to be okay with us.